Hello, everyone. Yazzie Austin here. I'm so grateful you decided to join me for yet another episode of Yaz Means Well. I do have a side pony, and I'm feeling her. Just have to say that I had to get it out the way. I took my daughter's bow, borrowed my daughter's bow, and I'm excited for this episode. On the last episode, we talked about self-awareness. Today, I'd like to discuss and stem off of that because we talked before about understanding your excellence, right? Objectively identifying your weaknesses and compounding on the great things in order to give that to others, extinguishing the not so good things. And to compound off of that, I want to understand the root of your purpose. It's either your passion or profit. Now, for me, I've learned that my passion is a direct connection to what God has given me, my talents, the things that I'm naturally good at, the things that I excel at, that I start and just, grow fond of. So you learn these things through discovery, through your experiences, and through what you enjoy. There are some people who are focused on the latter, which is profit. And I understand that too, because money is a tool that is necessary for everything, right? But it's viewed in two different ways, much like everything. It's either a weapon or a tool. And Kanye West said it best: having money is not everything, not having it is, right? So there's a big difference in that. But if it's your driving force, then it's very likely that you are not considering your passion. And for me, that is a disconnect to your purpose because they both are a part of what you are supposed to be doing and who you are as you're doing those things. What I mean by that is if you are good at something, if you enjoy it, if you like it, it's pertinent and necessary in order for you to fulfill your purpose. If you are good at something because you've developed it, you've understood it, you've made it better, right? You focused on it, you went through, you failed your way forward, because that's the only way to go, then you should have been able to provide yourself a profit. All services need to be compensated. So that makes sense. And I'm with that, right? But it shouldn't be the driving force of why you are doing what you're doing. Your circumstances should never dictate your character. It doesn't matter where you are. Who are you? It doesn't matter what you do. Who are you while you're doing it? It's much more important. So if we reevaluate some things, revamp, because I know I'm not telling you anything or teaching you, I think my purpose is to reiterate some things that you may have suppressed and remind you of some things that you might have forgot. But your passion is as important as your profit. And I know that we're all out here doing our best to contribute to each other and live a purpose-filled life. But I think the best way to do that, to fulfill yourself, pour into yourself, and then, of course, give others the overflow, is to get back to what you like. We need you, but I don't need you in any capacity. I need you at your best. That's why we need to be honest. That's why self-awareness is so important, because some days you may not be at your best, and that's okay. I'm here for you when you're not, right? But there are standards. So sometimes people have expectations, which we'll talk about later, that are unreal, and it's not realistic to be lived up to. So it's really important that you're honest with yourself about how you feel, who you are, what you're doing, and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, all of those things. But more importantly, tap into your passion. Don't be afraid to do what I'm doing. Do things with fear, because this is something that actually is not comfortable for me. I know that I want to pour into people. I know that I have really solid conversations with people where I pour into them and I love them and I say things in a way that kind of hits different, as the young folks will say. And I appreciate that so much because it's not a color, it's not an age, it's not a size. Everybody is able to contribute to everybody. And that's exactly what we're here for. You know that everything good about you is for somebody else. And if you don't know, now you know. For those of you who are out here living for yourself, you got the game messed up. That's not what it's about. Your life is about your contributions, not your acquisitions. And I've learned that the more I give, the more I am provided for, the more I receive. I don't need to take. I give my passions. My passions allow me to fulfill my purpose. My purpose allows me to produce a profit. And once I'm full, now we go into philanthropy. I want to give it all back. The beautiful thing is, you don't have to wait in order to give back. You don't have to wait in order to discover you don't have to wait for any of this. And they can happen, in a cycle, in any order. But I just don't think that one should supersede the other, right? You can focus on your passions and do what you like. But again, we need to be productive and get things done. Water costs. They probably going to start charging for air soon. Okay. So we got to be careful. It's really important to exercise balance, right? Find out what you like, but understand that there's a way to contribute that talent, that passion, that desire to the world. If it's a good thing, it'll come together. You just have to go through and keep moving along in that process. Failing our way to success is one of the hardest things that we have to kind of swallow and just deal with. It's, as my best friend told me, the micro that makes the macro. I thought that was so beautiful because it reminded me that how focused we are on the top of the mountain, the end of the vision, right? And we don't understand that you're getting there with every step you take, whether right or wrong. It depends on what you're extracting from it. Like as you build, are you learning? Are you taking the good things and compounding? This is with everything, evaluating yourself, the decisions you make, your career, how you show up in the world, what you give to others. It's a constant evolution, and you have to constantly give yourself grace to grow. That's what is really important too. Like, don't ever think that like there is no time. Time doesn't exist. Time really doesn't exist. Because I don't, you know what? I could tell you how old I am, but I don't really think that's how old I am. Sometimes I'm like 21 in 2 months. Sometimes I'm 49. Sometimes I'm about 72, sweetheart. Okay. Grandmama, my baby. It depends, right? We all are multifaceted creatures. So the idea that you have to stay in one place is insane to me. That's actually the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting something different. That's why I'm doing this afraid. I'm excited that I'm scared. I'm excited that I'm doing something that scares me. That means I'm evolving, I'm developing, I'm growing. And I want you to grow with me. I want you to do what freaks you out. I want you to do whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart, whatever keeps popping up, because you camouflage it with whatever else. And sometimes, unfortunately, our environment will suppress and diminish what we should highlight and compound on and see as an asset. Sometimes it's a threat, and sometimes it's a liability. The difficult thing is kind of maneuvering through life, growing and believing those things. Again, separating what man put on you from what God put in you. Two completely different things. And often it's what we put on ourselves. It's not even real. It's not real. Fears of the imagination. Everything you fear, it genuinely and usually does not manifest. I read that statistically, 97% of the things you worry about will never happen. 97. And the 3% that does is never as bad as you think. What a waste of time, right? To know that if you're going to worry, then it may not be necessary to pray because you've decided. But if you are going to pray, it may not be necessary to worry because you've decided. So I hope that you are intentional about your purpose, that you understand the profit's going to come, the money's going to come as a tool in order for you to better service other people and live a more fruitful, abundant life. It's not about getting, it's about giving, right? And allowing that relationship to be cyclical and reciprocated. You give, you receive, you give, you receive. But it's beautiful to be in a position of giving, regardless of what you have, to just be resilient in that regard. You know, no matter how depleted my funds are, no matter how low I feel, there's never a part or a time in my life where I want to take from other people. Not now. There used to be. There used to be. I think I was very upset because when I was younger, I anticipated to be a lot further than I was in life. I saw the top of the mountain. What I didn't own is that I never took the steps. And if I did start taking the steps, you know what I did? I would be pulled off the mountain to jump on somebody else's and start climbing and helping them elevate, because it was important for me to be an asset to other people. But when it came down to me, it took me years to realize, like, hold up, I gotta build me. I gotta build me. I can't focus on building everybody else. What do I want to do? How am I going to show up in the world? And then I started to realize that it wasn't going to be a point in my life when my purpose would start. It started when I understood who I was. If I had the job or I didn't have the job, who was I? You know, like that was more important to me. That became more important to me than what I had and what I was doing. I wanted to show up as myself every day, authentically caring about people, pouring into people, being honest with myself, giving myself grace, knowing I messed up. Hey, I messed up. My bad. And being okay with that. You know, this side ponytail was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to happen. But you know what? God is good. I ran with it. All right. And then I threw on a little bow, and here we are. You know, things work out, is my point, I think. I hope that you have enjoyed your time with me. I hope that you know that I love you. I truly, truly want the best for you. And I want you to live a purpose-filled life. I think that that is the best and quickest way to abundance and peace and joy, which we all deserve, regardless of how bad you are. We are all bad. Some of us are worse than others. But it's still all good. So whether you love it or hate it, please respect that it's real. I have nothing but love for you. I hope I didn't get too deep or too dark on you. It's always okay, though. You're always safe here. This is Yaz Means Well. Until next time, I love you. God bless. See ya.